We're back. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Guess who's posting more consistently? But not really. But like compared to before, this is pretty consistent for me. I'm not gonna want to hear myself singing when I'm editing, so I'm gonna stop. I've done this multiple times and tell me how every time I film, I'm just like, how do I do this again? How does one talk about oneself and then expect people to watch it? It's crazy. It's funny. It's really funny. Yes, like I said, welcome back to my channel, and today I decided to do another different video. Jessica's not doing a makeup video. Shocker. But yeah, like I said in my previous video, I want to do something a little bit more different, so hence the title. This is basically things I wish I could say to my younger self. I have 3 things I wanted to say. You know what, hold on. I'm like jumping into this. I just wanted to say, for people who watched my previous video, and if you haven't, it's in my channel videos, link list, whatever, it's there. And it was actually really scary. I honestly had really bad anxiety for a few days after, because it was just like, for me, there were so many things that I wish I said more, and there were things where I'm like, oh my god, this is too personal. And then I honestly received such lovely messages from people, and people that who weren't even there when this happened, who weren't, who didn't really like see it, and they still understood what I was trying to say. And it was just, honestly, like, even just getting one message was enough, but like getting multiple, it was just like so kind. And I really, like, for you who sent me a message or even just watched the video, like, thank you so much, because I was really scared, and like I'm gonna cry just thinking about like how nice it was that people sent me messages. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. I wanted to do a little bit more personal video, so that's what we're doing today. So yeah, like I said, no, wait, did I already say this? I don't know. So yes, let me explain exactly what this video is. This, again, I don't know, it's just like, it's one of those videos where I'm like, it's more for myself, but like, will people want to watch this? I don't know. So I just figured I'll film it, and then if anybody want to watch it, if anyone wants to watch it, anyone, I'm gonna be a teacher. Can't even talk. Okay, anyways, the point is, if you want to watch this, then yeah, that's great, and I really hope that maybe you'd want to do this video, or maybe it's just something to think about. So basically, I decided to come up with 3 concepts, and that's why I'm looking at my laptop. I actually wrote it down, guys. Like, I actually thought about it, and I planned, even it took me 2 seconds, but I actually planned my thoughts out, so yay me. So I wanted to do one for kid me, so I'm thinking maybe elementary school me, high school me, and early 20s me, so I'm thinking like 20-year-old me. And so basically on like 5-year span, like 10, 15, and 20. And I kind of wanted to do that, like, just, I have 3 like things that if I was able to go back in time and say this to younger me, this is what I would say. So let's get started. Okay, numero 1. I'm actually kind of nervous now. Like, again, I just forget that people have to watch this. Like, that's the whole point of filming videos. Like, you're not just doing this for fun. Like, I mean, it's fun, but like, you guys get what I'm saying. But I'm getting distracted again. Anyways, number 1. All 3 of them have basically a theme, so you will see as it goes on. But basically, I wish I could go back in time and tell my young kid self, be proud to be Latina, which is like silly, because depending on who you are, but 99% of you guys, for the people who don't think I'm Latina enough, you know who you are, and I'm looking at you guys. It's like an inside joke, but like, I feel like I get told like I'm very, like, sometimes I get told I'm very Spanish, very Latina, and then sometimes I get told like, oh, like, I would have never assumed you were Latina, and that is something that I kind of had to grow up and realize. That's something that I wish I was more Spanish. I was more proud of where I come from. So let me just tell you the backstory. Growing up, I grew up in Toronto. Basically, out of the whole school, the whole elementary school, I think, including my sister, there was five Spanish kids. So me and my sister and 3 other kids. 3 other kids. So you can see that we weren't really surrounded by people who were like us. I went to Sunday school, I went to Spanish church, and I had a lot of family friends who were all Spanish. So, I mean, Latinos, you know, like Hispanic people. So it wasn't like I wasn't around Hispanics, Latinos. I don't ever know what the proper term, to be honest, like fine, Hispanic people. And obviously, like, I had my cousins here. So it wasn't like I wasn't around it, but for some reason, because I wasn't around it at school, it just felt like I was just very different. And there were certain things that most of the kids were white in the classroom, and it's something I never realized, like, why I was like, I felt different, or I felt like I never like fit in. And I remember, like, there was this one memory that we were in grade 6 and we were doing dance, and everyone had the opportunity to bring a CD in. I didn't really have CDs growing up. This is back then, before Spotify and before all that like fancy, like, you know, all that fancy free music stuff, basically. So we kind of just listened to what was at home, which what my parents had. And I think we only had one like Spanish pop boy band album. Oh, what's their name? Wait, hold on. Okay, I had to like figure out, because I'm like, how do I not remember their name? Sun by 4. So I don't know. I'm gonna just play it before. I don't want to get copyrighted. Okay, I don't want to get copyrighted, so I'm not gonna include the whole thing. But basically, it was Sun by 4, and they were like the closest that I had to like cool pop English music, because that was like, you know, when like boy bands and all that was in. This was like early 2000s, right? So I remember I would bring it every week, hoping that my class would choose it. And every week another kid would get chosen. I never got chosen, because people would bring like the Kim Possible soundtrack. I remember one kid brought like Hilary Duff. Like, people just brought English music, and it makes sense. Like, I understand it, but as a kid I just never understood why mine never got chosen. And I remember like it was just kind of awkward because everyone had to vote. So I remember my CD would come up and everyone would just be like no one was interested in, and it just broke my heart, because I was like, it's really cool, it's like English but it's Spanish. And now it's so funny that Spanish music is so in, and people love going to like Latin clubs and like Spanish music, and you don't have to like know the language to like love it. And I think that's really funny, because at the time it was just like so heartbreaking that I just couldn't understand why no one wanted to listen to it. And so I don't know, and I just kind of like, as a kid, I remember thinking I was very different from my cousins, and I don't think it had anything to do with you know, the fact that I wasn't really connected to my culture. But my parents grew up with they wanted us to grow up Canadian, and my dad really like assimilated to the country. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think some people really want to assimilate and some people don't. I think, you know, too much to an extent could be bad. And I think my dad, compared to my other family members, he really assimilated, and he really wanted us to grow up Canadian. So I couldn't really connect to my cousins or my Spanish friends sometimes, and I couldn't connect to my people in my classroom. So as a kid, I just couldn't understand why, and I felt very like, I just felt like I didn't fit in that sense. So I remember just making jokes like, oh, I'm whitewashed, and I'm like proud of that. And now I'm so proud to say that I'm Spanish, and I'm like, my parents are from El Salvador, and like I'm Latina. And while my Spanish is not very good, but I love the food, I like the people, I don't know, it's just something that I'm proud to be now, because I like being Salvadorian. Like, that's something that's cool. And as a kid, that was something that I never understood why I grew up differently than other kids. So, you know, I don't know. That's something that I think I would have just told my younger self. Like, you know, just be proud of who you are and your culture and what you bring to the table. Because in a few years, people are going to be wanting to talk to you about Spanish music and bragging to you about how much Spanish they know. So, or like how they wish that I could bring them pupusas, which is delicious food. So, you know, just that's something that I wish I could tell younger self. Número 2. Teenage self. So, teenage self, hold on, let me look at my notes, because I already forgot. This one is like, I feel like my whole branding on YouTube is and single. I'm trying to stay away from that right now. And so that's why I'm like, I literally just wrote this. I don't know why I'm shocked, but like, basically, in high school, I wanted that movie high school experience. I wanted to meet a boy. I wanted to go to prom with a boy. I wanted to have a boyfriend in high school and all that. Blah, blah, blah. So it's two parts though. But like I said, it's a theme. So in high school self, I would have gone back to 15-year-old me and said, listen, you don't need a boyfriend. You're fine. Boys suck anyways in high school, so be glad. Literally, no one is going to even count their high school boyfriend experience unless they're still dating, so that's a little bit different. But you know, that's very rare to have a very successful high school sweetheart experience, you know, dating, relationship, you guys know what I mean. But like, who cares? So you don't need to count. High school boyfriends don't count, so don't worry about that. And I would have said that while you felt misunderstood and you felt like you didn't fit in, you guys getting the theme here, just be yourself and eventually it's gonna be good. And you don't need to peak in high school. You don't want to peak in high school, trust me. It's so much better to peak later. Like, you're gonna appreciate it more later than when you're not, like when you're 14. You really want that to be your like best moments? Like, no, you don't want that. Like, I don't even remember half the things that happen, not even 90% of the things that happen in high school. So trust me, peaking in high school is not that big of a deal. So I would have told teenage self that the movies make high school seem a certain way, but it's not. Prom is fun, I guess, for dressing up, but it's not the biggest deal. And just keep doing you, and like, you know, you have great group of friends, and while you still feel like, you know, you still don't know who you are and you feel very misunderstood, and you're very emotional. I remember crying a lot in high school. Like, it's gonna get better, so just keep doing you and don't lose focus and don't feel like you have to be like other people to fit in. So don't worry about that. So yes. Okay, drama, for example. I fell in love with acting when I was in high school. I remember it was in grade 9 in French class. So yeah, when I was 14, 15, and we had to do a monologue and I loved it. I loved the applause after I did it, but that is besides the point. I actually felt really like I loved drama, and drama was my favorite class, hence why I'm trying to be a drama teacher right now. That is the goal. And yeah, I really liked it. Shout out to my drama teacher. He believed in me and he gave me the lead role in my last year of high school, and I just wish I could go back. I just wish I could go back and just be like, be confident. Like, you got the lead role because your teacher thinks you're good enough. Like, that's a big deal. He wouldn't have given it to you if he thought you sucked. So just claim that and stop being scared of the people that you're in class with. They probably were worried about the same things that you were worried about. They probably weren't that confident, even though you probably felt like everyone was so confident, everyone knew what they were doing, no one knows what they're doing in high school. No one. It's high school. That's the whole point of high school. Everyone's terrified. And I just wish I can go back and shake high school me and just say, like, you're gonna be fine. And believe in yourself. Goddamn, believe in yourself, because you're good. Then you're gonna regret not taking advantage of having a teacher that believed in you, because if I could go back and just do more drama, I would. Número 3. This is for 20-year-old me. Hold on, let me read my notes again. Again, about the same theme. Let's say it all together, guys. Be yourself. Amazing. That's great. I really felt we were in harmony that time. Just be yourself. It's just so frustrating because it's a lesson that I had to learn multiple times. And even like a year ago, I still felt like, oh, you know, we had to relearn this lesson again. Just be yourself. Like, that's so important. 20-year-old me. That feels like so long ago, and yet it wasn't. I was struggling with university, horribly struggling. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't want to go to school, but I also knew that I had to because I felt like everyone had to do it. And thank God, I still think that university is very important if that's the career that you want to go. Like, if the career that you want to go into needs it, do it. I wanted to be a teacher, and now I'm going to be one. I am one. I'm literally going to be one. I am one. And just remember, I am one. I am one. And that was something that, while Teachers College was amazing and I loved every second of it, undergrad was not that great. I struggled. I felt like I wasn't smart enough for it. I didn't know what I actually wanted to focus on, because that's the whole part of Teachers College, that really technically you can kind of study whatever you want, but unless you want to teach a specific subject in high school, you kind of have to have a major, but you can basically study whatever you want. And I remember I switched my major twice: psychology to French, French to social science. And that took me a really long time to figure out. And even then, even when I found out that I like social science, I just felt like, I just want to do this just to get to Teachers College, but I hate this. I feel like I'm not good enough for this. I felt like school wasn't it for me, which is so ironic because I want to be a teacher, so I understand how school is very important. And it was just a very hard transition from high school to university, high school to adult life. It wasn't until I met my friends who I have now where I felt like, you know, these are people that I have a lot of things in common with. And I think it just took me a while, like I said, just trying to feel like I fit in. And when it wasn't until my early 20s where I felt like, okay, I'm kind of starting to feel like I fit in, I can be myself. And working made me meet so many different people and just made me feel like I'm adult, and it really taught me responsibility and all that. But yeah, that was something that I definitely had to learn, you know, just keep trying, just being yourself. It was very important. Also, bringing it back to guys, because what do we do in this channel? We talk about being single and dating. Looking back at when I was first starting to date, and it's something that I actually kind of was talking about this recently, and I just felt very frustrated, where I felt like I kind of had these boundaries and these kind of, not like, I don't want to say like, these ideas of what I thought was good and, you know, what I thought was fine, and I felt like guys didn't understand that. They wanted to push those boundaries, and I was like, no. And then I felt like very insecure in my early 20s, because I felt like, is something wrong with me because maybe I'm not ready to reach the next step. I just felt like it was really hard to find people that respected my boundaries, and I felt like constantly with guys I had to explain myself, and it just feels very sucky. And it kind of still happens now, but now I just don't care. Now I'm like, no, this is what I want, this is how I am. If you don't like it, then bye, because nothing you say is going to change my mind. Back then, when I was like early 20s, maybe I'm not ready to do certain things because I just don't want to. I got met with, why? It's not that big of a deal. As you can see, my whole lesson about younger self me was very much, no, I had to be confident. I need to be confident. I need to be happy with who I am. And it was very frustrating, because I just felt like I was like, maybe I am being silly, that I'm having all these boundaries. So I wish I could tell myself, younger self, that, girl, it does not matter if you have boundaries or if you don't boundaries. If a guy does not respect you, it does not matter what you do or you don't do. So like, just leave it, because you're going to find somebody who does respect those rules, and that's what's important. That is what's very important. And now that I'm about finishing this video, I'm thinking, okay, I'm turning 27 this week. Probably by the time I finish editing this video, I will be 27. So sorry, that was terrifying. I'll be 32, so 5 years from now, 2032. I wonder what 32-year-old self would tell 27-year-old me. Probably, again, be yourself, god damn it. Like, I need to learn that. And it's something that I think I've reached the point where I can say I'm pretty good at doing that. And it's something that I think I'm just gonna have to just keep relearning, repeating, and, you know, remembering. If you were able to relate that to this or anything like that, comment below. Comment maybe what would you tell your younger self. That would be really interesting. I really hope that someone does comment, because that would be fun to read. And yeah, and that's the end of my video. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. And like, subscribe, comment if you like this video. I like doing that whole I'm a YouTuber speech. So thank you again so much for watching. Love you guys all. Bye.